Hi, everyone. Welcome to Revenue Rescue this month. This monthly webinar series is brought to you by the team here at Affinitiv. So for those of you just getting to know us, we provide marketing and software solutions to over 5,000 dealerships nationwide, working with every major manufacturer in the country. And we're excited to take some time to share a bit of the knowledge and insights that we've gained through our experiences. So each month, Revenue Rescue webisodes will feature a new topic addressing common challenges with your dealership that may be leaving revenue on the table. Our goal is to guide you through solution and strategy ideas to help you make the best decisions possible for your business. So today we have Chris Case, Affinitiv's VP of Sales for our software division. He's here to talk about what the customer doesn't see as service software works behind the scenes, integrated into your daily operations. It affects customer experience and can increase efficiency as well as revenue. And so with that, I will turn it over to Chris.
Thank you, Ann, and good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us today for our Revenue Rescue series around service software. My name is Chris Case, and as Ann mentioned, I'm the VP of Sales for software here at Affinitiv, and I work every single day with dealers to help them solve problems and seek greater productivity and efficiencies in their service departments. So here's our agenda for today. First thing we're going to talk about is dealership profitability and an inside look into both fixed operations and overall profitability for dealerships. I'll follow that with a discussion of our beliefs and how we look at the business. And then I'll take a deeper dive into our approach, into the different modules that we see will drive the most effectiveness in dealership service departments. Then I'll wrap things up and talk about next steps and move ahead from there. So first up, regarding dealership profitability. Some of you may have seen this slide before or some version of this data, but what we want to illustrate for everybody is that when it comes to fixed operations, that is the service department, body shop, and parts, they represent almost half of the profitability that your average dealership sees compared to the new vehicle department coming in at around 28% and the used vehicle department coming in at around 25%. And this is where we're placing our focus, is driving that profitability, working with customers every single day, and making sure that we're maximizing results in every encounter that we have. Taking a deeper dive into fixed operations, you can see that when we look at margin growth over the past several years, there's two areas where we're seeing very positive indications. The first is when you look at gross profit per dealership, it starts out in 2012 around $2 million per dealership, and the trend line continues up until 2017 to $3.3 million per dealership. At the same time, as we saw on the previous slide, we're also seeing a very positive trend line when we look at service and parts profitability as a percentage of total dealership gross profit. In 2012, it was running around 41%. And then the trend line shows that up to 2017, it's all the way up to 48%. So we're seeing tremendous growth in fixed operations profitability across our industry. At the same time, if you compare that to where new vehicle margins are performing, it's a totally different story. The trend line, as you see on this slide, demonstrate that the trend line for profitability on the new vehicle department is gradually decreasing every single year up until 2017. And then if you look at the forecast out to 2025, there could be a situation where profitability on the new vehicle side of the business could be minimal, I should say, or even at a level of 0%. So there's a major opportunity here for dealerships to turn their focus toward fixed operations and drive that profitability. One key factor in the margin compression that we're seeing on the new vehicle side is that price transparency is now a major driver of that situation, and you can see there are a number of companies that are offering that price transparency across the industry. Furthermore, as we look at fixed operations technology in our business, we're seeing a situation where there's really an underinvestment. If you look at the upper left-hand chart where we describe the U.S. dealership gross profit by department, once again, you're seeing that the majority of the profitability is driven by service and parts. But if you go down to the left side lower chart, when we look at marketing spend, the majority of marketing spend in your average dealership is happening for new and used vehicles, with a small portion of that going to service and parts. At the same time, in a similar fashion, when you look at dealership solution spend, that is technology spend on a monthly basis, when you compare sales versus service, almost $5,000 per month is dedicated toward sales technology, while in the service department and utilizing some more advanced applications, that comes in at a little bit over $2,000. So our message here is that for dealerships that are looking to grow their overall profitability, particularly on the fixed operations side, there's a tremendous opportunity when you look at fixed operations technology. Here's what we believe can help drive that profitability. There's 5 key points that I'll describe today. The first is to drive customer connectedness. And this is your ability to effectively communicate to your customers throughout the service lifecycle. How easy is it to set up a service appointment with you? How effective is your Facebook marketing? How efficient is your service drive process? Those are some examples. The second is to promote market message consistency. That is your messaging to your customers throughout the service lifecycle. Are your service offers consistent across all platforms, whether it's marketing or scheduling or even in the service drive? The third point is to grow second and third appointment show rates. What we see is on average 75 to 80% of your customers will defect to other service providers. The question we would ask is, what internal or external processes do you have in place to retain and recapture these customers? The fourth is to create profitable at-bats. That is the effectiveness of your service drive and shop processes when the customer is in front of you. Do you have tools in place to help you sell more service and drive that revenue and profit growth that you would expect from your department? And finally, we want to help you accelerate revenue per UIO, your units in operation. And that is to maximize the revenue and profit opportunities within your customer base. And the question we would ask is, where can you grow your business in your active customer base and even further in your inactive customer base? So these are 5 key points that we believe can help you drive that revenue and profitability growth in your service department. Here's our approach. We believe there are 5 key areas that you need to focus on to drive the growth that we described on the previous explanation of our beliefs. The first is scheduling, a convenient way for your customers to schedule appointments with your dealership, whether it's online, with your BDC, or with a service advisor. The second is write-up. How effective is your write-up? Is it a mobile write-up system? Does it enhance the customer experience and make it easy for your advisors to consult with your customers at the point of sale? The third is inspection, an electronic multi-point inspection that gives you a consistent process to not only inspect the customer's vehicles, but also to drive further revenue and profit opportunities. The fourth area is the ability to track customer conversation. And this main communication vehicle is texting. Does your dealership utilize a texting application for two-way customer conversations with your advisors when they're in the service drive and communicating throughout the time that their vehicle is in service? And then finally, retention, whether it's following up on declined services or your owner retention plan, focusing on the continual retention of your customer base and growing that over time. So taking a deeper dive into each of these, from a scheduling standpoint, we want to make sure that our customers are offering an enhanced customer satisfaction opportunity and driving service revenue growth through an effective service scheduling platform. We want the platform to be as easy and convenient as possible for customers to schedule. And once again, whether that scheduling occurs online or with a BDC or with your advisors. Another key component is separately managing express versus regular service from a scheduling standpoint. And that'll help smooth out the service lane experience for your customer, and also give you a much smoother experience internally when it comes to scheduling service appointments. Following that, we want to help you drive and improve load management in your shop to maximize the efficiency of both your technicians and advisors. For service write-up, this is all about increasing repair order revenue and also making sure that the customer experience is optimal when you have the customer in front of you. It starts with using in-lane tablets, tablet PCs for your service advisors to use to assist with the customer reception and also to conduct a thorough and effective vehicle walkaround. With write-up systems today, there's tremendous integration points that can be available. The first, obviously, is with your DMS for customer vehicle information and appointment information, but also the ability to integrate factory recall information, loaner program information, and also tire program information with other partners in the business. Finally, what we want to do is, we want to see dealerships drive and standardize their service drive process and ultimately boost the productivity and efficiency of that department, as well as profitability. Next up is inspection. With inspection, you can certainly uncover a tremendous number of opportunities with your customers' vehicles and drive revenue with an electronic multi-point inspection. By implementing an electronic multi-point inspection, you'll see improved workflow and an opportunity to look at your inspection process and standardize it to make sure that everyone is communicating consistently throughout the customer's experience in the dealership. And that means communication between the technician, the parts department, and the service advisor. Ultimately, what we want to see is the ability to drive more RO lines by offering a thorough and detailed inspection of the vehicle and uncovering every single opportunity that the dealership may have as a result of that inspection process. And then lastly, we like to see dealerships produce a professional presentation as a result of that inspection and give the advisor a platform to review each of the findings and recommendations from the inspection and consult with the customer, whether it's face-to-face or through an email or even a text message to a customer, to consult with them, review every aspect of the inspection, and hopefully sell more RO lines as a result. Next up is the ability to track those customer conversations through our texting programs. The advent of texting in dealerships has been extremely effective, enhancing customer communication on a two-way platform throughout their service visit. And then customers are much more likely to respond to texting communications than they are to phone calls or email. When you have a texting solution, all of the text messages and communications can be tracked and managed through the platform, and then there's a dashboard view that you can have to monitor and measure every single communication that's happening on that basis. And then finally, there's also an opportunity to introduce online bill pay and payment options that haven't existed for dealerships before. And once again, focusing on the customer experience, it just makes the experience for them a lot easier if they can check out and pay for their bill online and avoid any closeout process that might occur in the dealership. And then finally, we're all about retention, and that is building brand loyalty and growing your revenue with various service retention programs. The first point is critical, and that is leveraging the client services to help grow service revenue. So, the question is, what process do you have in place today to capture the client services, and are you marketing to those customers shortly after that service visit to get them back in and get that work done? There are also various inbound and outbound call handling programs that are available to provide backstop and overflow support in the event that the dealership phone lines are busy and there's an overflow situation with phone calls. So another way that we can drive retention is through the outbound and inbound call handling. And then finally, we believe that every dealership should leverage their owner retention program to the max and drive revenue and customer retention and loyalty as a result. So to recap, we want to see dealerships drive not only service revenue and profit opportunities, but enhance the opportunity by having an effective scheduling module that leads to a tremendous customer experience in the service lane, then leads to a quality and thorough inspection process that leads to more revenue opportunities, all the while tracking every single conversation we have with those customers, and in the end, retaining those customers, promoting loyalty, and driving profitability as a result. So with that, I'd like to thank everyone for joining us today. I'd like to invite you to join us at NADA at the convention in San Francisco next week. Our booth number is 2139S, and I'd love to meet all of you and spend some time talking to you about ways that we can maximize your service operations at your dealership. So thanks again for joining us.